It's time. That's right. It's time for season 3. Welcome back, everyone. First of all, before we get started, I will just apologise now for the sound of my fish tank in the background. I'm doing a bacteria cycle, so it's really loud at the moment. So apologies. Hopefully you can bear with it. So we're into season 3 of Chillax. We just kicked off this morning. Schedules have gone out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through the matchups, and we'll use the opportunity to look at the teams, maybe do some predictions as well. And then if you guys would like to see anything following on this weekly show, let me know. And yeah, we'll get cracking. So first things first, we are going to be updating the rules section over the next week or so. Just the main number one rule, guys: no concessions. Concessions. The first one will be a severe warning, and it may even be suspension for a number of games. And the second one will be removal from the league permanently as well. So no concessions, guys. If things are going bad, there's nothing wrong with just keeping your players down on the floor. We've all been there, but please don't concede, because the impact of giving the extra MVP and also the extra winnings and stuff can really spiral some teams out of control. So that'll be like the one hard and fast rule. But I'm gonna have a chat with the admin team tonight and see what we want to put in. But obviously we want to keep it as relaxed and chill as possible. So first up, let's go to the schedule. The first matchup of the week. So we've got the Rotting Deadskins and the Cripsburg Steelers. So let's take a look at these. One of these is my team. We should probably start with that, right? It's the most important. So, Cripsburg, let's have a look. Gone for a 970 build. Standard for Undead. Obviously, is you go for 3 ghouls. I've gone for 2. I just wanted a bit more upfront punch in. Take advantage a little bit more of the regen. I might come to regret that. If I lose a ghoul early, it could be pretty painful. But there is a chance that I could buy a ghoul after the first game if I get lucky on the winnings. So that's always a possibility. But yeah, I think that ghouls can be the strong and the weak point of your team. So I wanted to sort of limit that. On the flip side, I'll have to be more careful on defense with them. So, yeah, we've got 2 mummies, 2 whites, 2 ghouls, and then we've gone for 5 zombies and 3 rerolls. So I think that's going to give me a really good start. I think the extra strength 8 will help me be lazy and just base things up. Especially if people have got decent players that I want to try and tie down. Having that extra zombie could be handy, for sure. Trying not to sneeze. Now we're up against the Rotting Deadskins. Also 970. And also with the same exact build. So, near enough. Near enough. They've gone for 2 ghouls. Sorry, I'm trying really hard not to sneeze. He's gone for 2 ghouls, he's gone for 3 zombies, and he's gone 2 skeletons as well. So that'll be interesting to see the additional speed. His team will be quicker than mine, but it will have less armor overall. So that could be quite interesting if I can get some Mighty Blow hits on those skeletons. Might see some early removals. But yeah, it's just funny. I've not played Undead in... I've not properly played Undead since I was maybe 12 years old. So I'm going to be interested to see how they've actually kept up with the new teams coming in. So excited for that. Prediction. I'm actually going to call that a draw. I don't want to pick against myself, but I know Lee's also a very good coach as well, so I didn't want to disrespect him by just saying that I was going to beat him. So I think a draw there. So next up we've got the Zombies versus the Nagarath Shadow Warriors. I probably said that wrong. So let's find the Zombies first. This is Show Me Magic. Now Magic has gone for Necro. I know he's not really played them before, so it'd be good to see him on something that isn't Chaos. Obviously he had to give himself a way of getting Claw Mighty Blow, so he's got 2 Wolves, 2 Flesh Golems. I think these are great players, by the way. 2 Whites, and then a ton of Zombies as well. He's gone for 2 rerolls. Again, the Necro being a little bit more expensive than the Undead, so reroll advantage may go to his opponent here. But solid start, but the lack of starting skills can sometimes get these Wolves into trouble. Magic is a very good coach though, so it's, he's more than likely going to be setting his Wolves up properly. So where are the Nagarath? Let's have a look. So this is Joey. Joey's a really good coach as well. And on Elves, oh, okay. So the Claw won't impact 90% of his team. 2 rerolls. Okay. It's looking like a pretty solid Elf team, to be honest. I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm going to say this is going to be a 2-1. 2-1 to the Elves. I think early on, before the Necros start to get all their supporting skills like block, mighty blow, stuff like that, I think the Elves are probably better out the box. But I'm not 100% convinced in that because the Wolves are so quick. So yeah, that'll be my prediction. So that'll be a 2-1 to the Pro Elves there. Then we have Sirius United versus the Tin Town Rats. Now, I believe Sirius United is Necro. Okay, I thought he was going to go for Skaven, but no, he's to be fair, he's a good Necro coach. So again, standard build, a couple of werewolves, a couple of flesh golems, a couple of whites, no ghouls, and zombies. So I think that's the same build that Magic went for. And then they're fighting the Tin Town Rats. So let's have a look at those Tin Town Rats. There we go. Gridbug here. So Gridbug's new to the league. Welcome. He's gone for a double thrower, 4 gutter runner, 2 storm vermin start. He's got an apothecary, game 1 and 2 rerolls, and he's got 40k in the bank as well. So I feel like this team is set up to do well over like the first few weeks. But let's see how they take casualties. I've never seen a double thrower start on Skaven, and that worries me a little bit. But he does have a lot of speed advantage here. I'm going to call... I'm going to go with the Necro on here. I'm going to go with the Necro. Although if they don't position properly, the Skaven could run away with it. But I'm going to say 1-0. I'm going to say 1-0 to the Necro there. Skanks and Saw Asses versus the Stonehorn Striders. So, let's have a look at that. So, Skanks. This is Crespo. And his Lizardmen. So, he's got a Croxagore, 6 Saurus, 4 Skinks, and 2 rerolls. So that's a standard build, but it's a good build. And who is he running into game 1? So, the Stone... Here we go. So this is Battlehawk. So this is our 2-time runner-up. So this guy's made the finals twice now and just been picked out both times, unfortunately. But could this be his season? He's gone for ogres. He's gone for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ogre start, 5 ogre 1 reroll start here, and then a ton of Noblars. This could be a really dicey one. Like, I know people are like, oh, ogres are bad, but they're not that bad. If you know how to play ogres, they can be really effective. Having 5 out the back is really good. And he'll just have to be super careful about that reroll. I think that might be one of the deciding factors. But with so much Mighty Blow, like, he could start removing Sauruses very, very quickly. I'm gonna call that a draw, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a draw on that. Battlehawk has more experience than Crespo, but I think the Crespo's team's better by default with it being lizards. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I think we're gonna get a 0-0 there. Then we've got the Wieners, the Red Wieners, versus High Times in P-Town. So this is Deaton and Jazz. So I believe this is this is a Norse team to start with. So he's gone for 2 rerolls, a Yeti, 2 Earths, 2 Berserkers. Those are possibly my favourite players in Blood Bowl, and a bunch of linemen and a runner. So pretty standard start. He's utilised all his gold pieces there, and will be coming out with a bang. He is running into Wood Elves. And we have got a 2 reroll, 1 War Dancer, 1 Tree, 1 Catcher, and then a ton of alignment. This is really hard to judge because they're both good coaches. Jazz has actually made it into the finals of a league that I've run before, and he's made playoffs multiple times as well, so he's quite a good coach. And he's on Wood Elves, and which just, out of the box tend to be a very strong team, but he's not played them, so this will be his learning experience. So I'm gonna go for, I think coach skill. I think we're about the same on this, but I hate elves, really fucking hate them. So I'm gonna pick the Norse here. So Norse to pick that one up. And then we've got Feeling Your Mummy versus Onion Flaps. So, Feeling Your Mummy, this is Khemri. So, congrats to Uber Spoons for having a huge set of balls for taking Khemri in a league. He's got 4 Tomb Guardians. He has 2 Blitzers, 2 Throwers. How has he afforded this? And then, he's only taken 2 rerolls. Yeah, and then 3 Skeletons. This is a really good starting roster. Okay. Yeah, I like this. Unfortunately, he's playing our reigning champion, Big Floor Pie, with his Onion Flaps. So Khemri do well when they out-strength and they can control the field, and they're not going to be able to do that against the Ogres. Also, what's really worrying me for Uber Spoons, this being his first game, is the amount of Mighty Blow he is going to be running into. And then if you mix in Decay and stuff like that, we could see some Tomb Guardians out very, very quickly. It's not hard for him to set up 2 dice blocks with his Ogres. So, that could be really rough. On the flip side, Uber Spoons could target a couple of the Gnoblars, start to separate the Ogres, maybe put some fouls in, some strategic fouls. But then it's Big Floor that's got bench. Okay. I'm going for Big Floor. I'm going for our champ. Yeah, purely for the fact he has 5 Mighty Blow against a load of Decay. That could be a terrible week 1 matchup for Khemri. But we'll see. And then we've got Yet to Be Defined versus the Congenital Hogwarts. So, Yet to Be Defined is Mr. Ben. He's somewhat of a Lizards expert. Again, standard build. He's got 4 Skinks. He's got his Saurus and his Croxagore. I've noticed, very smart setup here. Because, as you know, whenever you build a team, all your MVPs seem to go on your liners at the bottom of your list. To counter this, Ben has put his good players, or his expensive, or harder to skill players, should I say, at the bottom so they can pick up that SPP. Smart move, Ben. Hats off if I was wearing one. I like it. And he is going against the which is Crazy Balls and his Dark Elves. Okay. This is interesting. So he's gone for 3 Blitzers, a Witch Elf, 2 rerolls, and then the rest Linos. Okay. Final prediction here. I'm going to pick... Sorry, Ben. I'm going to pick the Elves. I think they're going to get it done early. He'll target the Skinks with the Blitzers. Hopefully take off a couple of those. And then I think the Lizards will struggle to move the ball. But, I could be wrong on this. But, yeah, I'm fairly confident the Elves are going to beat that. So, what do I think is going to be the match of the week? Part of me's tempted to say Feeling Your Mummy versus the Onion Flaps. I think that's going to be really interesting just to see how much damage goes through in those Team Guardians. But I'm going to have to go for the Zombies versus the Shadow Warriors. I think the Elves versus the Necro week 1 is going to be really, really fun to watch, and I hope I get an opportunity to cast or at least watch a cast of this one. But yeah, so that is our week 1 roundup. Good luck, everyone. Thank you so much for all joining the league. It's much appreciated. Obviously, we've grown quite a bit. I think it was 8 players last season, so we've gone to 14, which is, I think, a nice growth rate. We'll try and keep it at 14. You know, when we had issues with the league before, it's when we started getting bigger and bigger. It gets more stressful to run. So I think this is probably a good number. But if anyone has any ideas or suggestions or anything like that for this weekly show, please give me a heads up, and yeah, be happy to include it if it's reasonable. But yeah, have a good week, guys. Good luck, and get your games played.